everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be going over my April TBR, and I'm putting this video out a little bit earlier than I would have, but that's because the Magical Readathon spring semester got announced and I wanted to do a video going over the Magical Readathon and like preparing my TBR for it, just to give anybody that might need a little bit more help with it a chance to like see someone actually build a TBR from it. So a good portion of this video I will be talking about Magical Readathon. This is hosted by G on Book Roast here on YouTube. I will link their announcement video for this year. I'll link a like beginner friendly Magical Readathon video that they did. I just know that when I started last year, I watched all those videos and it still felt like so much of like an info dump that I really didn't understand. And to be honest, I still don't. But now that I've gotten a semester underneath my belt, the best advice that I have is just to go into it and have fun, and don't worry about all that like character building or all like the side stuff. Like literally pick a calling and do the prompts for it. That is like the biggest advice I could do. Don't get bogged down by all the other stuff they talk about. Like, you don't gotta build a character, you don't got to pick a guild, you don't have to really pick a calling if you don't want to. There's 37 on the sheet. You can literally go on to Google, do a random number generator 1 through 37, whatever number it selects, go do that calling and read the prompts from it. And I know typically like whatever you pick as your calling, you're supposed to do for 4 years to graduate. If you don't care about that, then just randomly select a calling each time. I know there's also like points that go into this. I don't care about the points. I don't care about the points. I don't care about the character stuff. I read this to read. So that is the advice that I would give. So the spring semester is always easier than the autumn semester. The autumn semester, there's more prompts and that's a whole thing. So I feel like the spring semester is always the best time to try. And this year they've added like a rescuing dragon part to it, so it makes it a bit more exciting. So I'm gonna walk you through me building my Magical Readathon TBR, and then I'm gonna go through the other books that I plan on reading. April is my birthday month, and I have set a very delusional, chaotic, unhinged, however you want to put it, goal of reading 26 books. That's the age that I'm turning in April, and I was like, what if I just read the number of books that I'm becoming? Like my age is becoming. So that's what I have decided to do. We'll see how that goes. That is like double what I normally read. Like I've been reading like 15 books a month. That is quite literally almost double. Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm going to try to pick short books. It's going to be interesting, to say the least. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the whole Magical Readathon TBR part of it all. So I actually had to write notes because it was a lot of information just to go through. I am a star whisperer. I picked this last autumn, and I picked it because just like I love the stars. It was like a lot of the qualities that I have in my personality that resonated with the star whisperer. For this semester I have to read 5 books as my base. Like those are the ones I'm required to read. The classes that I have to take are the Art of Illusion, Astronomy, Inscription, Lore, and Divination. The prompt for Art of Illusion is to read a book I already planned on reading in April. Astronomy is to use a color wheel to pick the color of the cover that I'd have to read. Inscription is the first sentence challenge. I'll have to select 3 books, read the first sentences from each book, and then pick a book based off of the first sentence. Lore is to pick a mystical term and title, and Divination is a book with witches or the occult. And then optional is a guild book, which is kind of like a book club for my guild. It hasn't been decided on. Whatever they pick, I will see if I've read it or not, or if I have any interest in reading it, and then I'll read it if I want to, but I can't tell you about it because it's not been decided on. And then there are opportunities that I listed, like I wrote down, but they're not a priority. Like if I could make them fit into my TBR, I'll do it, but if I don't, it's no big deal. But the opportunities that I wanted to do was dragon riding license, which I'd get like a license to ride dragons in the world, apothecary keeper, and bog cataloger. You have to do like, you have to read books for each one, and then like an activity. So the dragon riding license ones is I have to read 2 books with a dragon, and then I have to watch a movie I have to watch a movie or a show with a dragon. The apothecary keeper, I have to read 2 books with plants on the cover, and I have to take pictures of 5 different plants and upload them on the internet. And then bog cataloger, I have to read a book by the water or a book that has a body of water on the cover, and I have to watch an animal documentary. The bog cataloger seems like it's going to be the easiest one for me to achieve, so that one might be the one that I actually end up doing, but I really want to do the dragon one. But off the top of my head, I can't even think of any dragon books that I haven't already read because I love dragon books. So we'll see. But I do have a rule for myself. I cannot pick a book that's not on my TBR. So my physical TBR is pretty low right now, but I do have books on my Storygraph TBR. Those are the only two places I'm allowed to pick books from. I can't pick books that are not already on those because I'm trying really hard to not add books to my TBR or add books to my series tracker. Like, I am going to be very, very strict about this. If I somehow cannot find books off of my current TBR that fits all the prompts, I won't be doing this. Because I'm not going to just go out of my way to add, yeah, it's a whole thing that I have with myself. So I already kind of talked about it in the intro, but there is like points to go with this. So every time you read a book, you earn points, and then you can use those points to buy things, like trade in for prompts and stuff. I don't care about points, but obviously like the easy way of doing points, I do. Like, I'll get the point to reading each prompt. But you can also get points like doing side stuff. I don't ever do the side stuff. So if you want advice on that, I'm not going to be able to give it to you. I ignore all the other point stuff. And you're supposed to do this on April. I don't really care. Yeah, like, you don't have to just do it in April. Like, G has said, like, these are the rules, but you don't, like, it's however you want to do it. Like, they're not going to show up at your house and be like, you're reading this all wrong. So it's really just how you want to do it. So I might be stretching some of these prompts, but I literally do not care. I'm doing this for fun. If I really wanted to be strict with myself, I would not enjoy this readathon and I would not partake in it. So this is my way of doing it that is fun, not overwhelming, and a way to keep having me do it in the future. So with all that being said, on to actually picking books. The first prompt, reading a book that I already plan on reading, I'm actually going to skip because I do plan on reading Shatter Me, and I do have like 5 new releases. Any one of those books could fit for that prompt, so I'm actually going to come back to it after I know what the other books are going to be for prompts, and then I can pick whatever's left. The next prompt, which was use a color wheel, I used a random color generator, and I spun that, and I have a video of it for proof, and I got green. So there is technically 3 different books that I could do for this. I could do Green Light, which I have shown in a couple different videos that I keep just not reading, and I've gotten to the point where I think that I'm not going to read it. So there's that one. And then I know that the second book, Fearless, not second book, that'd be the third book, Fearless, which is coming out in the Powerless series, I think it is mostly green. So that is an option. And then the last book that I know came to mind was Ignite Me, which is a reread. So I think that what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to put Fearless for this because it is a new release of mine and I do want to make this as easy as possible, so I'm going to use it. This is the last book in the Powerless trilogy. It is like a Hunger Games tournament vibe to it. It's so good. I'm really excited to read this last book, and I really hope that it has a happy ending and that the enemies to lovers stay lovers, and yeah, I'm hoping for the best right now. And then the next prompt was the first sentence challenge. I went ahead and I grabbed, I don't really have many books on my physical TBR that I could have used for this, so I just went, because some of them I'm currently reading right now on my, like, for March, and some of them I'm saving for the Pride readathon, so I really only had like 3 perfectly, actually, like, pretty much. And these 2 were my, oh, I'm showing them down. These 2 were in my March maybes, and I already know for a fact that I'm not getting to them. It's like, I'm filming this on St. Patrick's Day, and I still have, I think, like 10 books to read for March. So I'm not getting to these, so I'm going to use these. So I'm going to go ahead and read the first sentence. I'm going to read it to you guys. So first one is In It to Win It by Sharon Cooper. So the first sentence to this is, with a death grip on her cell phone, Morgan Redford sprinted down the quiet hallway as fast as her 4-inch Louboutins could carry her. That is the first sentence. So, next one is Make the Fireflies Dance. People say memories aren't reliable. Well, I remember it like this. Me and my mom cuddled up in a nest of blankets and pillows on the back of her rusty old Ford, the faint sounds of a bluegrass festival carrying to our ears on the warm twilight breeze. That was a really long first sentence. Jeez Louise. And then Just One Look is the last potential option, and the first sentence is, I stepped off the elevator on the second floor. I found myself silently begging for a calamity. A fire, a flash flood, even a tiny earthquake would suffice. I think this one is drawing me in the most, but to be honest, none of these really are. But I think if I have to pick out of these three, I think it's this one. This is a stalker book, but she stalks him. I think this one entices me the most from the first sentence. Those other ones seem a little too, like, they are contemporary romances, but they seem a little too girly cliche for my liking. Not saying that they won't read them eventually, but like at this very moment, if I had to pick one of these books up, I think this would be the one that I'm most likely to pick. So this is going to be my book for the first sentence challenge for Inscription. And then lore, I've actually already came with a book in mind because it's a musical term and title, and I had a really hard time with this because a lot of the books that have like musical terms in them, I've already read them because I'm a really big music person. So I'm instantly drawn to books that have to do with music of any kind. So I'm actually stretching this one, and I don't care. It's not my readathon, but it's my version of the readathon. Like, this is my, yeah. So I am going to be reading The Fox and the Dryad. I think that's how you say it, dry. Yeah, I'm not very good with words. And I know what you're thinking. That is not a musical term in those words. I know there's not. But I Googled it. According to Google, there is like a genre titled that. That has, like, it's a certain genre. So I know that's not a musical term, but it is like so close. Like, it has to do with music. So I am counting it. I'll even show the Google proof of it, I guess. Like, this is so close. Like, might be the only musical book that's on my TBR, is key. On my TBR that could fit this. Which I'm a little mad because I read Song of the Six Realms in March, and that would have literally been perfect for this prompt, but I've already read it. Like, I literally finished it right before the Magical Readathon video came out, so it just made me laugh. And then for Divination, which is a book with witches, I have, oh my goodness, I'm throwing books around. I picked up a Hunger of Thorns, because this is on my physical TBR, and I know for a fact this has to do with witches. I believe it's about a daughter of witches. She wants to be good, but for some reason she can't stop being bad, and her gift is storytelling. So I think I'm going to do this. I went through my Storygraph TBR, and there's like really nothing that seems like it has witches in it, unless it's like a Halloween. And I really don't feel like reading a Halloween book in April. I'm sorry. So I think my contender is going to be this. So the last book I have to do is already planned to read. So I have so many options. I can do one of the Shatter Me books, which I literally have my box set sitting here. I can do one of these books, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do Fruits Basket. Volume 1, because I already planned to read it, and I want to motivate myself into actually reading it. So those are my 5 books that I have to read for the readathon. The Guild book, I have no idea about. And now I'm going to look for books for the opportunities, and I will come back if I have any luck. If I don't have any luck, I'll just skip on to the rest of my April TBR. But this is what's going on so far. I'm back because I just realized that I do have books for the Apothecary Keeper, and it's gonna take a little bit of switching around. So I originally said for the color wheel, since I got green, I was gonna do Fearless. I'm not, because Fearless has plants on it, and this book has plants on it. So I can use those 2 books for the Apothecary Keeper position, and I'll be able to have that position in my character, whatever. So instead of doing Fearless for the green prompt, I'm gonna switch it to Greenlight. So here is the deal. That Greenlight has been on my TBR for 3 months. I have not gotten to it, even though I've wanted to. I'm putting it on my April TBR. If I do not read Greenlight in April, I have to unhaul it. That is a challenge to myself to read this prompt, because I'm putting it for this prompt, And if I don't read it for this prompt, then I have to agree to unhaul it, which I hate unhauling books that I haven't read yet. But it's come to this. It's been on my prompt. It's been on my TBR for months. I've owned it for months. It has come to this point where I have to just like pressure myself into reading it. It's a very dark romance, and I don't think I enjoy it. And the thing about it is, if you DNF a book, it does not count for the prompt, and you have to pick a new book. So this is my plan. If I end up DNFing Greenlight, I will just use Ignite Me for that prompt. But I have to try Greenlight. I have to give it a very fair chance. I have to read at least 50 pages, is what I'm telling myself, is what I'm telling you guys. You can hold me accountable. Because I got it as a Probably Smut book. I paid $25 for it. I've literally had it sitting on my shelf, and I could go get it, but I don't want to because it's like underneath my cows and stuff. And so that's it. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to switch it around. And then I also have to take pictures of 5 different plants. That'll be so easy because I love plants, and I'll just go outside and... So I really wanted to be a dragon writing license, but I don't have a single dragon book on my TBR. Not a one. Not at all. I checked and nothing. Not even, at least no mention of it in the cover, or no mention of it in like the brief synopsis. I might read one of these books and realize that it has dragons, but I don't think you can double up. I don't think you can double up even for opportunities. So I might have to like buy a scroll to do that. And if I do, I'll do that. So this really does wrap up my Magical Readathon TBR. This is my Roman Empire. In April, I'm coming home. Yep. I've mentioned it a few times, but in April, I'm going to be doing a Shadow Me reread. I read these 2 years ago, and me and Aaron Warner almost share a birthday. We're like a couple days apart. And new Shadow Me book coming out in April called Watch Me. So I felt like it would be the perfect time to do a reread, and I'm going to be diving the hell in. I'm so excited. I'm going to be analyzing these books. I'm going to be tabbing them, and I plan on taking you guys along for all of it. I'm going to be doing a video next week, going through and picking tabs for each book. I'm going to set up buddy reads on Storygraph for each book. I'm going to do like a pre-reread ranking of the characters in the books. It's going to be a legit time if you love Shatter Me. If you don't love Shatter Me, then you might not want to watch my next couple of videos. I'll make it clear which ones have Shatter Me content in them so that you can like know to click on them or not. But I hope that most of you do love Shatter Me, or that you're willing to give Shatter Me a try. I have a friend that's in the middle of it, and I'm trying to convince her to read the rest of it with me. But I plan on reading all 9. The novellas are like super short, but this is the crazy thing. So Aaron Warner's birthday is the 24th. I want to finish Ignite Me on his birthday because the birthday scene is in this book. So I want to finish this on the 24th. So I plan on reading all 9 of these books in like 10 days. Maybe less. Because when I first time I read this series, it took me like 2 days to read each book, give or take. The novella is even less. I will probably actually just read these novellas at the same time. But so like if I have to read this on the 24th, that means I'll start it on the 22nd. So I'll be doing this like this. Yeah, so it will be 10 days. So then after I read these, I'll literally be speed reading through the rest of these. It's gonna be literally insane, and you should probably watch all of my content to watch me slowly spiral into insanity, because this series is gonna take over my life. This is gonna be my whole personality for the month of April. And then my last book of the month is going to be Watch Me. I have planned it almost perfectly. We'll see how this works out. But it will be Watch Me, the new book, will be my last read of the month. So this is going to be my big chunk of my TBR of the month. And then I have decided that I'm going to read the Fruits Basket manga that I already own. So I own volumes 1 through 5. So I'm going to read those 5. I'm going to read the 5 to 6 books for the readathon, Magical Readathon. I'm going to read the Tiny Terror book, which I don't know how to say, but I'll include a picture of it. I don't know anything about it. And then I'm going to read Devourer of the Dark, which is this author does like Peter Pan retellings. And this is like the side series that deals with like the crocodile. And she surprise dropped the second book on us. Like, literally just like, here you guys go, I released this book, LOL. And they're really, really short, like not even 200 pages, so I'm gonna read that. And then my new releases. And I believe if I did this math right, which I don't know, y'all, because I'm horrible at math, I'm gonna be reading 26 books in April. And I planned this kind of strategically so that I actually have a chance of doing this. I did not want to pick long books and then screw myself when I'm like, oh my god, I picked 500-page books and now I have no time to get through these. I try to pick very short books. So if you're like, oh, you're making it easier on yourself, give me a break, y'all. It's my birthday. I'm gonna be doing stuff outside of just reading. So lots of readathons are gonna be happening. Lots of hours of reading. But the new releases I have 4. I have Watch Me, which I just talked about being the new Shadow Me book. I have Fearless, which I talked about being the last book in the Powerless trilogy. I have Sweet Obsession, which is the next book in the Hades and Professionally series. It's not called that. Dark Olympus, and then Dark Olympus series. Each book gets better and better. They're different, about a different like Greek couple. I don't know what couple this one's about. I've been kind of going blind into them. And then Faithbreaker. Yep. Faithbreaker will be my first read of the month, actually. It comes on April 1st. My ass will be sat. I will be reading that book as soon as I get my hands on it. This is the ending of the God Killer series, which I cannot, like, my friend Allie raves about it, but I'm just, like, almost to her level of enjoyment. It is, this author, it's so good. It has to do with gods and just, so good. So, this is my TBR. It's chaotic, it's unhinged. Will I complete it? I have no idea. But like I said, if you're interested in the Shadow Me reread that I'm doing, you can be on the look for the buddy reads. And I have to plug myself because I just do, because this is my channel. By the time that you're watching this, hopefully, I will about to start streaming. I'm publishing this on March 23rd. My first stream is on March 24th. So if you're seeing this on March 23rd, you should come check out my first stream on March 24th. Under my Twitch channel is the exact same name, Moving with May. If you're seeing this after the 23rd, then come find me on Twitch to see my next stream and tune in. It's going to be so much fun. I'm going to do a special Sims playthrough. I'm going to be reading on there. If you want to watch me descend into sanity in real time, I'll be reading on my Twitch stream a lot of April. So you could have a front row seat to it. You could literally see me giggling, kicking, crying, all of that in one video. So I really hope that you enjoyed this. I really hope, you know, if you're taking part of the Magical Readathon, feel free to comment like what you're reading, what class you are, not class, what calling you are. If you've read any of the books that I'm planning on reading, let me know how you enjoyed them. I have for the emoji to comment, I have to stand up and get it because I got the cutest thing from the mall the other day. Hold on. I got this little plant guy from the mall the other day. So if you watch to the very end of this video, drop a little plant emoji. Do they have a plant emoji? Drop something to do with plants. I don't know if they have one. I don't really use it. But I have, I just got this guy. He's so cute. So thank you for tuning in. I'll see you guys next week. I'll see you guys maybe in my Twitch streams. I'll see you guys somewhere, sometime in the future. Bye-bye.